Are you living in joy or just happiness? Satan's kingdom often suggests that that is where you find fun, happiness, and freedom, and that God's kingdom is a place of gloom and boredom, where you're often tied down by a set of rules. Welcome back to another Wisdom Filled Friday, where we're still in Galatians chapter 5, starting at verse 13 through 26. Today's fruit of the Spirit is joy. And today I'll be telling you kind of the difference between feeling happiness and then feeling joy. The presence of happiness usually is limited to existing in good circumstances only, while joy lasts even through the bad ones. A really good example of having joy over happiness in your life can be found in Acts chapter 16, verses 20 through 25. This is where Paul and Silas were beaten and thrown into prison, yet they still found joy. Acts chapter 16, starting in verse 20 says, "And they brought them to the magistrates and said, These men, being Jews, exceedingly trouble our city, and they teach customs which are not lawful for us, being Romans, to receive or observe. Then the multitude rose up and gathered against them, and the magistrates tore off their clothes and commanded them to be beaten with rods. And then they had laid many stripes on them. They threw them into the prison, commanding the jailer to keep them securely. Having received such a charge, he put them into the inner prison and fastened their feet in the stocks. But at midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God, and the prisoners were listening to them." Even after Paul and Silas were publicly beaten and thrown into prison, they still sang and prayed, spreading their joy to the other prisoners, which even led the prison guard to give his life to Jesus and then going to get his family to be baptized to give their lives as well. Moral of the story is don't settle for the temporary feeling of happiness through the things of this world or through good circumstances, but be planted in Jesus and trust Him so that He may provide the gift of joy through all circumstances, good and bad. And remember, joy isn't just for you. Just like Paul and Silas sitting in prison, they sang and prayed and it spread to the other prisoners. Your joy could be just what somebody else needs in order for them to get joy as well. That's the end of part 4 for the fruit of the Spirit. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next Friday. I love you and God loves you more. Bye.